Now we can see the basic structure of our index page, where all of our different components are going to be. And next we're going to add the ability to create new tracks. So as I mentioned, we're going to have a floating button here in the bottom right hand corner where users can click on it. A dialog will be displayed where they can provide their track information. Let's head to within the track folder in components, CreateTrack.js, and we'll start by uncommenting all of our material components. And we'll begin by returning a React fragment. We're going to return two things within this fragment, two different components. The first will be the CreateTrack button, and the next will be the CreateTrack dialog. So let's start with the button. We'll use a button component where the variant is going to be set to fab. Class name will be classes.fab and the color secondary. Within the button we'll have an icon. By default it's going to have the add icon. So let's save and take a look at the result for adding that code. So now we want to be able to click on the button and show our dialog. So let's create the dialog first. We'll start with a dialog component with the class name classes.dialog. Then within it will be a form which will contain a dialog title which will be set to CreateTrack. Then dialog content, which will contain some dialog content text. So the text below the title will tell users to add a title, description, and audio file to create their track. Then underneath dialog content text, we'll add a form control, which will be full width. So we'll use the full width keyword. Then we'll have a text field, which will just consist of a single tag where the label will be title, the placeholder text will be add title, and the class name classes.text field. Now let's copy this and add another form control. So the first form control is going to be for the title, the next is going to be for the description. So the label here will be description, the placeholder add description, and then after the description form control we'll have another form control, and this will contain an input which will allow us to select an audio file. So we're going to make this required. The type of it is going to be file. The class name will be classes.input, and then the label for this input will actually contain a button. So we'll add this label. We'll set the HTML4 to equal audio. So the ID of this input needs to be audio as well. That is for this label to work correctly. Then we'll add a button component with the text audio file, and to the right of it will be a library music icon, the class name classes.icon. Then on the button we'll set variant to outlined, color to inherit, component to span, and class name to classes.button. So that's it for our form, or rather our dialog content. Underneath dialog content we'll have some dialog actions. These will contain a couple of buttons. The first one will be a button to cancel adding a track or creating a track. The class name will be set to classes.cancel. And then for the second button, that's going to have the text add track, where the type will be submit, and the class name classes.save. And we haven't added the ability to toggle this dialog just yet, but like some other components that we've looked at, its visibility is controlled by an open prop. So on the opening dialog tag, we need to set open to true to see what we've created. So when we save CreateTrack, we see our open dialog where we have a title, description, and the ability to select an audio file.